Hey, I'm just here to give a little update. Thank you for everyone who's been supporting the DFLOC Thomasville NC project that I'm working on. It means a lot. I've seen massive support on TikTok. I've seen growing conversation happening on various Facebook pages related to the city of Thomasville, and comments being made on the city of Thomasville city council meeting live streams. I'm thankful to have been given the chance to start this conversation. Hillsborough, Pittsboro, Chatham County, three other places in North Carolina that have either paused or outright canceled their contracts with Flock after their citizens raised concerns about their data privacy. A mayor from Menominee, I forget his name, I'll post it right here, liked one of my posts on the DFLOC Thomasville NC page on Facebook. He decided with his city council to remove Flock and cancel their contract.
Mayor Casey Hoffman added an item to the agenda to terminate the city's contract altogether.
And he himself made a public statement saying that he believes that Flock security cameras are inappropriate and a breach of people's privacy.
I think I did the right thing. They're not appropriate. They're a privacy violation.
It's mayors like these who are thinking and paying attention.
Yes, we're getting those cameras the Flock out of here.
So this conversation is happening all over the U.S. Data centers are the big nasty monsters, and Flock cameras are like their little gremlins running around getting the dirt on everybody. All praise to Jesus Christ for the support that this has been getting. I just submitted a public records request to see the contract that Thomasville has with Flock Security, to read over the language. Yes, many of the contracts that people have terminated with Flock have been terminated because the language allows for third parties and federal agencies to access the data. It's been reported by many people like Jimmy Dore, that Flock shares cloud databases with Amazon and Palantir. They're building analytic databases on every U.S. citizen. They're crashing the dollar to get us on digital currency. They're putting up Flock cameras everywhere to put us on a social credit score system. Pretty soon it's going to be digital ID here, not just the UK, not just China. So I'm coming at this from a spiritual/moral perspective, trying to make the point to my city council that if unchecked and unremoved, these Flock cameras will lead us down the primrose path to a totalitarian surveillance state that we will all regret if we don't do anything about it. The rain's quieted down now, but if you've been paying attention to anything since 9/11, and if you've been paying attention to the AI trend at all, you understand what this leads to. That's why I personally am coming at it from a faith-based and moral perspective. I'm going to need legal help. People who understand law, how to read contracts. Render unto Caesar, yes, but render unto God the things that are God. Caesar just happens to be abusing my neighbors, and I'm supposed to love my neighbors as myself. Other city governments are leaving Flock behind. Other cities are speaking up to their city council and saying, we don't want it. The challenge that I'm putting to the city of Thomasville, North Carolina, is, do you want to stay on the side of greedy AI corporations who call people like me who do not advocate for violence or destruction of property terrorists?
And then unfortunately there's terroristic organization like DFLOC. They are closer to Antifa than they are anything else.
And we all know how flexible the word terrorist is in America. Don't fear men who only have power to destroy the body but not the soul. Rather fear him who has power to destroy both body and soul in hell. Do they want to stay on the side of greedy AI mega corporations and stay in contract with a company whose owner, Garrett Langley, calls people like me a terrorist? Or do they want to be on the side of history that sides with the people who say, no, we don't want AI mass surveillance, and take a firm stance against all forms of AI mass surveillance? Dude, these things are coming down the pike at a blistering pace. 2027, every car is going to be made with an AI kill switch. And you have to be a fool to believe that Flock cameras won't be used to track people and to find people and shut down their cars for violating a travel limit in a social credit score system. And God has mercy for ignorance, but God don't tolerate willing ignorance. If you continue to stick your head in the sand and pretend that these things don't exist and continue to run the party line, these are for to help the police and these are to keep people safe, then you're just foolish. Giving Thomasville the benefit of the doubt, maybe our city council isn't thinking that way. Maybe they're not paying attention to the AI trend. But the fact that they use grant money so that way they wouldn't have to put it to a public referendum, so that they wouldn't have to have a city council meeting about it, so that way the people wouldn't have a chance to speak up against it, because everyone I've talked to in Thomasville about these had no clue. or they just found out about Flock on social media because it's taken off with the data center conversation. But giving them the benefit of the doubt, maybe they're not thinking about that. Maybe they just thought we're trying to be good for people, and so we're going to help the police out and make their job easier. I'll tell you a story. I was given a ticket because my tag was out. I didn't have the money. And that's an honest problem that many people have. The police officer pulled me over using his own eyeballs to see that my tag was out. No problem. I said, "Sir, I just haven't had the money. I lost a job, got a new job, but money's been tight." He said, "I understand. If you get this fixed and take it to the DA, you'll be fine." He wasn't being a jerk. I wasn't being a jerk. He was being an honest policeman. I fixed my tag. I went to the DA, and within 30 seconds, I was told, "You don't have to come to court." I'm perfectly fine with honest policing and honest government. Maybe if the city of Thomasville is just not thinking this way, I want to help them think this way. They're a local government, but you have to think globally. You have to pay attention to what's happening globally. Britain's going to digital ID. China's been on a social credit scoring system for the longest time now. They monitor people's gait, the way they walk, not just their facial scan, so you can't wear a mask to get around it. They know how you walk in China. It'll be the same way in Britain. They're already deploying facial recognition scans because they've got net runners chopping their stuff down, and I'm not advocating for that. I'm telling people, put away the sword into the sheath. I don't want violence or destruction of property. I want to get city council to see reason and do the right thing in the name of God. I'm thankful for all the support. If my public records request is granted, I'm going to read over the language of the contract and do the best I can to rally support to get Flock out of Thomasville, NC. Please speak respectfully and take up good faith, honest, and respectful efforts to get Flock out of your city. We do not have to sit down and just take what's coming. Even if it does come, we can take the time to stand up, and at least when we grow up and our kids are having to deal with this, we can tell them that we tried. We did our best. I can't let my kids grow up in the world that I see coming without trying to do something. So I'm praying for all of you who are trying to do the same thing that I'm doing. God help you, and God keep you in light. City of Thomasville knows what I'm up to. I tagged them in my TikTok videos. Thanks for all the support. I'll keep you updated.